All right, let's go. All right, so guys, we are going live with Questions Asked, episode number 119. The question at the top of the key. I accepted a BPO, but how can I tell what kind of BPO it is? That is the question at the top of the key tonight. Those of you who are joining us tonight, go ahead, tag a friend. This platform is for real estate agents, licensed real estate agents only. Okay, so if you have another realtor in your office you want to tag, go ahead, share the video. All right, for those of you who don't know me, I am Angela Cooper. I am a business coach and a real estate broker. I help real estate agents increase their income while waiting on buyers and sellers to close. This is one of the ways that I assist in doing that is sharing the information about the platform Broker Price Opinions, okay? So tonight, guys, if you are brand new to the page, go ahead, like the page. If you're watching from YouTube, smash that subscribe button. If you're visiting after the fact, hashtag replay. And if you're brand new to Broker Price Opinions, or you're brand new to real estate and you're looking for a way to make some extra income over the holidays, how about that? Go ahead, drop a 1 in the comment area, okay? We'll get you some information on the free webinar about Broker Price Opinions. So how can I tell what kind of BPO it is? I accepted a BPO, but I'm not really sure what to do. I know I'm supposed to go and get some exterior photos, okay? So listen, guys, when you accept a BPO, you have instructions that come with the BPO. Typically on those instructions, it's gonna tell you whether you're doing an interior or exterior. It's gonna say what type of product you're out there for, okay? If it is in fact a property condition report, it's gonna have PCR. If it's an interior property condition report, it's gonna have IPCR or PCIR, okay? So what is the difference? If you see anything that say evaluation, BPO, interior evaluation, interior BPO period, okay? That means that you have to go get pictures of the subject and you have to have photos of you have to have 6 comparables, 3 listed, 3 sold. That is an evaluation or a BPO. It's not a property condition report, okay? That's very important that you know that, because you don't want to be anticipating, okay? Because property condition reports, you don't have to do any values, okay? You don't do any valuations. You just tell them what the condition of the property is. But if it's an evaluation or a BPO where you're expected to give some numbers, you're gonna have 6 comps, okay? Very minimum. Sometimes you'll have 9 if you have rental comps, okay? Sometimes they ask for rental comps on the sold side, okay? They don't typically ask for active rentals, but they do ask for sold rentals in the market sometimes when they are doing a lease back or where the lender has taken over the property, REO, and then they're gonna sell it back to the owner or sell it on a lease option or something of that nature. Hey, Debbie. So, Debbie Lombard, how are you? So that's the difference in your products. The product is what you're looking for so that you'll know exactly what time frame you're working with, because you don't want to, especially if you're brand new and it's your first BPO, you don't want to wait to the last minute to start working on your BPO. If it's a property condition report, those only take about 5 or 10 minutes, okay? But the BPO is gonna take you at least 40 minutes if you're good and know what you're doing, 30 to 40 minutes to complete an entire BPO, okay? Most of you mastery students have mastered it, getting it done at 1 hour. That's still good, okay? Because if you're getting paid $50 for your exterior BPO and you get it done in 1 hour, then you made about $45 to net $40 to $45 in 1 hour, okay? All right, so question number 2. What do I do when I cannot find the property? The subject property is not on the tax record. The subject property is not on the tax record. So now that tells me 2 things. 1, the subject property is either a brand new build, like that's been built in the last, I don't know, year. Sometimes it takes them longer than a year to get the property on the tax records. Or, how about this? You might have the wrong address, okay? You might be looking for something that's not addressed properly. It might, because like in my area, we have some streets that have 2 names. So it might say Cullen Street, or it might say County Road 985. You have to know which way is listed on the tax record, okay? And then if you know for sure, re-verify, because I've had so many students that can't find the property on the tax record and they don't even have the correct address, okay? So make sure you're looking at the correct address. And if you know for sure, you double checked and know that that is the correct address, then you can call or email quality control, and chances are they probably have a past BPO on that property. They can give you the tax ID number for that property, okay? Go ahead, email, call them, whichever one works, because most of them don't answer their phones, okay? But sometimes you can call and they will answer, and you can just ask them, hey, I don't have this property in the tax record. Do you have a previous BPO on this property, or do you have a tax record for this property? They're gonna probably put it, after they re-verify the address and everything is correct, they're gonna put it in suspense until they find out what the tax record is, because they will find the tax record, okay? Another thing, if it's a brand new property, you already know for a fact the subdivision is not even completely built. It's brand new, less than a year or less than 2 years old. You know that that's the correct address. You went out there and you even saw the property, okay? But it's not in the tax record. If it's a situation like that, then what you need to do is go ahead and estimate the square footage, the bedroom count, bathroom count, but let quality control know that you actually went out to, because I've had that to happen a lot of times. I go out to the property, I can see the property with my own eyes, okay? But it's not in the tax record. So in that case, you can actually estimate everything. But if it's an older property and it's not in the tax record, chances are you either have the address wrong, okay? You need to verify the address, make sure the street is spelled right, make sure it's not a rural route or something like that. FM, Farm Market Road, if you're in a rural area, a county road, make sure all of that is correct. And then at that point, send it back and let them put it in suspense until they can find the property address or either the tax record, okay? One thing you don't want to do, you don't want to be calling all over the city trying to find out, I have this address at 3926, New York Street, and I'm not showing it. Do you have an address like that on your records? You at the county now, you probably talking to the appraisal district or something. That's not your job. You are not supposed to go and try to research where the property is. They should give you the correct information on that BPO, because guess what? They're only paying you $40, $50. If you're doing an interior, $65, $75. But it's still some research you're not gonna want to take a part in doing. Make them do their job, because you got to do yours. Once they get the address, you got to do your job and your research. But they need to give you the correct information from Jump Street. That's not your job to be calling all over town to see, what's the address. Absolutely not. We don't do that. Okay? All right. Question number 3. Before we go to question number 3, guys, if you are visiting us on the page, go ahead, like the page. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And on both pages, guys, turn your notification buttons on, okay? Because whenever I go live, you'll get a notification. Or even if I post something, a tip or something like that, you'll get a notification that I did post on that particular site, okay? If you're brand new to real estate or brand new to Broker Price Opinions, drop a 1 in the comment area. We have a webinar just for you. And if you're watching after the fact, hashtag replay. For those of you who are trying to get in the Broker Price Opinion group, the private group on Facebook, if you do not answer the questions, if you don't provide your real estate number, your real estate ID number, and what state you're practicing real estate in, you won't get in the group. You just won't, because I don't have time to, do that research, okay? If you provide me with the state and your license number, all I have to do is say New York Real Estate Commission, put your license number in, your name come up, and boom, you're in the group. You see? I don't have time to be trying to see if you're really a realtor in New York. Or, your Facebook page say you live in Atlanta, but you say you're a realtor in Florida. I can't be looking at all of them different places trying to verify that you're a real estate agent. Why? Because this group is private to real estate agents, licensed real estate agents only. It's not for marketing people. It's not for people that's trying to sell stuff. It's not for that. It's not for even the people that's trying to get your BPO business. That's not what this group is for, okay? So you have to tell me your real estate license number and what state you're logging in from so that I can pull it up, verify it, and boom, you're in, okay? All right, question number 3. What do I say to a property owner if I'm out there doing pictures and they ask me, why you taking pictures of my house? Yeah, that's kind of frightening, somebody said. Yes, it can be rather frightening. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be outside your car standing directly at their house taking photos. That's not how you do it, okay? If you research on YouTube, go to my website, go to my page on YouTube. There's a video called Taking Photos from the Street. I don't know which number it is, but find that video. If you're a BPO Mastery student, it's already in your Mastery course, okay? And also, if you're in the group, if you do some research back, you might go to the group and Google BPO photos, okay? You might be able to find it. But that's not how you do the photos. You don't get out your car and stand in front of the house, directly in front of the house. You walking up and down the street trying to take the photos. The only time I do that is if I'm doing an interior photo shoot, okay? If I'm doing an interior photo shoot, whatever side of the street I come from, I'm going to take that side of the house before I even get out my car, okay? And then I'll take the front and the other side, cross the street, up and down the street, because I can stand in one spot and do that. But if you're just driving through and you have an exterior, you need to be taking your photos from the car. Just make sure that the car mirror and the dashboard and all that stuff is not in your photo, because they will reject that photo. If you have anything that looks like a car in your photo, they're gonna reject it. They're not gonna take it at the BPO asset management company. Okay, so you need to get good at taking pictures on the move from your car. The first thing I do when I get to that address is, I scope out what's around me. I want to make sure there's no moving cars. I want to be the only moving car on the street, okay? And so if I'm the only moving car on the street, then I can drive slow and take a picture. And if somebody is outside, I'm going to go ahead and make the block and come back when I think they're gone in the house. Now, if they're outside cutting the yard or something, they're not going to be paying attention to you anyway. But if they're bringing in the grocery, or they just come from the mailbox or something like that, yes, they are going to stop and ask you, why you're taking pictures of their house. You could simply say, I was out here to do an evaluation on another house. I'm a real estate agent. I was doing an evaluation on the house down the street, and they told me to find one in similar condition. Your house was so pretty, I picked yours. So that's the only reason I'm taking pictures of your house. But I can certainly take a picture of somebody else's house. If you get caught up in that moment, whatever your story you want to tell it. But, make it, because really you are out there to observe all the houses on the street. You're going to take pictures of houses up and down the street, so it's not like you're lying. But you don't want to be so obvious and let them know. I normally make the block, get them time to go in the house, and then start taking my pictures. But I never, ever get out my car, and especially y'all with those fancy cameras, the big cameras with all the flashes on them. You don't need all of that. You can really take the picture quicker, with a little small camera that's smaller than your phone. My camera is literally in length and width, is smaller than my phone. But if I have to, the other day, I had an interior photo shoot, and the house was vacant. It was toe up from the floor up, okay? And it was in a really rough neighborhood. So when I get houses like that, I don't even use my camera. I use my phone because I can quickly go to the next room. So I had to use my phone in order to take pictures of that house, because I got my phone in one hand and I got my spray in the other hand, because I don't know who in that house, okay? So you just want to find the videos. There's a video on how to do interior photos. It's out there somewhere on YouTube. If you're in the mastery course, it's in your course. And then there's also a photo shoot on how to do your photos from the street without getting out your car. Okay? That's what you want to do. And I even have a photo out there of me taking a picture of a house, and it's somebody standing in the yard. So I'm really trying to, be real discreet and take my photos. But I've also had somebody, while I'm taking my photos, approach me from behind. I ain't even see him coming, acting crazy with me about taking pictures of their house, okay? So I literally had to say, ma'am, I'm not taking pictures out. She beating all on my car and everything. And I say, okay, so you obviously don't realize that this is a lethal weapon. I can put my car in reverse and just run over you. I had to let her know. Don't be hitting on my car. I wanted to say, if you pay your mortgage, I wouldn't be out here taking pictures of your house. But we can't say that, right? So try not to get in confrontations with people. And I wasn't even out my car, okay? But the lady was just steady beating on my car. So you do have to be careful when you're out there. You can tell those people you're from the tax department, because I have had people call the cops on me while I'm out there taking pictures. But guess what the police say when they get there? I'm not trespassing on their property. The street belongs to the city. So as long as you're in the middle of the street, nobody can tell you anything really about taking pictures of their house. You're not on their property. Okay? All right. So just have your story ready. Try to stay in your car and take your pictures. Hi, Sylvia. All right. So question number 4. I'm interested in your training. This is BPO Mastery. Somebody's interested in BPO Mastery, but they have a lot of questions for me. Okay? If you're in the group, if you're in the Broker Price Opinion group and you have questions about BPO Mastery or the training, you can literally hashtag testimony, okay? And you can get all kind of testimonies and probably get all your questions answered about what it is that you want to know about the class, okay? There's also, when you go to the course and you hit purchase, or you can look at the course and see all the titles that's in the course, okay? And some of, I think it's some frequently asked questions there as well, okay? So when you go to BPO Mastery, you literally can see all the courses that's inside the university. So whatever you want to know, I'm sure is going to be covered in the course, okay? But if it's something you specifically need to ask me, you can tag me in the group, or you can go ahead and send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Any one of the messengers. You can message me on Instagram or Facebook, really. YouTube as well, because I answer questions on YouTube all the time, okay? So whatever questions you have, about the training, you can tag me, or you can ask some of the students that's inside the BPO group. It's 2 groups. One is a secret group, one is a big group. Any of those students in that group can answer your questions for you, okay, about the course. But if you need to talk to me specifically, the best way to reach me is on Facebook Messenger, okay? Any other messenger platforms. Now, do we have any questions out there? Any more questions out there? Anybody have any questions? If you're live and you have a question that's pressing and you want to ask your question, go ahead and ask me and I'll try to get the answer for you tonight. I don't know. All right, any more questions? All right, so looks like we don't have any more questions while we're live tonight. But guys, if you hashtag replay and you have a question about anything BPO, if we didn't cover it tonight, if you have a question about your BPO, you might be working on one or whatever. If I can answer it for you, I most certainly will get that answer to you. Sometimes I have to answer you in private because sometimes you guys ask questions that people pay for those answers, okay? When they're in mastery, and I can't be on the air, giving out all the paid information, okay? Because it's not fair to the mastery students. So that's why sometimes you might see me say, go to your DM and I'll answer you on the DM if I can answer you. But if it's something that's get too detailed or intense, I'm going to suggest that you take the course, okay? All right. Oh, any more questions? All right, you guys, let's go out there and get this money. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye now.